Did you hear me talking there, or did it?
We heard you talk, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said you'd be holding on to it, and then he responded with, "We'll see about that." Nonetheless, let me continue. The society was destroyed. In fact, all life at the time was annihilated, exterminated by this god. Save for some exception. The god, the true god, you all refer to as Archsage Vernier, is the last one. Or, one would think. Elaborate. You asked earlier who I serve. I serve the last scion of this civilization. Not some betrayer. Some turncoat. The last hopes of a dead civilization that committed no crimes that the modern societies have not already committed. I serve an Archon of old.
So, does it make
How did
Archsage
it
Vernier?
live?
Huh?
How did it live? I thought you said the race was exterminated.
Hmm.
Because they are a godly race of wise and smart beings. Even amidst their final moments of annihilation, they made one last safe away to hide one last person. Or the only one, as far as we know.
Right.
But the
And
god
I
of old is
assume-
no fool. I'm sorry. I did not mean to cut you off, yes?
No. Continue on, I guess.
The god of old is no fool. He made the last Archon, other than the one hidden away, the turncoat. He gave him rewards. He gave him privilege. He gave him a duty. A warden of this world. But even the warden made wardens. You know them as Margin United. Just in case. Both of you roll me intelligence checks.
Oh no.
I'm trying
Not
to like.
saves, checks.
I'm trying to like measure like the tier. I'm trying to figure out like the tier
good
list they
time
got
to
going
have
on.
it.
Let's go. That's a good roll. Also a 24, but you know yours is a little better.
This is an ability check. You guys can add
The bolstering bond?
guidance and bolstering bond onto this.
Oh shit. Well, I had that all ticked off, but it didn't roll.
So, a 2d4?
It doesn't apply to ability checks straight from the attribute, I noticed.
That's odd.
I don't know why.
Oh god, we're matching 2 for 2.
What the shit?
How very perfect.
Yeah.
He's saying all this with such immeasurable conviction and passion and devotion. But there's still stuff that you guys are catching that doesn't make sense. Right? Like all these questions that he seems to be glossing past.
Yeah.
How does an ancient god of eternity miss someone, right? Even if they were a divine society. I say divine. Godly, powered, deitist society. Right? How does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why would you make wardens if you believe you killed all of them? Despite his devotion to the storytelling, it still doesn't add up. But you guys get the feeling that you shouldn't ask those questions right now. Also, another thing. If he committed utter annihilation on anything and everything in existence, how come there's still remnants? For remnology to continue existing.
Is it just like recycled material? I think, might bring that up later. Let's throw that down for later.
Sure.
Well, let's go in with the notebook regardless.
You guys rolled really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yes.
Near maximum on your roll. I was also finding that you guys both got the same number.
Yeah,
It's
it was
fantastic.
great. It's just fate.
It is fate. And I'm so happy you guys are here.
Mm.
And so here we are in the present day.
Right, and so I'm assuming your scion, I say in quotation marks, your last god, I guess, is some sort of goal, otherwise we wouldn't be here, right? So what, does he want to bring them back?
No. The race is gone. He looks at you, Rose. You've seen the Shard of Ends in action. All of you have, he says, looking at Varric.
Who's part Shard of Ends currently?
What if you roll me insight? This is against Varric.
Oh, I only have a
okay.
+1. Do I have that ticked on? Yes, I do have that ticked on. And don't be shit. Oh, there it is. Okay, well.
Fia, speaking of more things that are adding hiccups to this cosmic puzzle, Varric looks like he knows something that Leopold doesn't. Another hiccup to the cosmic puzzle.
I'll be asking that later.
The race is gone, Miss Rose. No. It was Mr. Ruhan. Earlier today, was it not, who talked about an anger of genocides. He analogized it to you, Miss Rose, as fury. No?
Yeah, it was
Fury
concept.
for a dying civilization.
Yeah. The idea of what would you do if you saw everyone being wiped out.
And then he analogized it to the Night of Tempest for you, Miss Abigail. Can you imagine what my lord is like right now? Countless ages gone. Civilization annihilated. No. My Deus Lord does not want to bring back their civilization. This is impossible. He wants revenge.
Oh, no.
Right.
Revenge against God, this god of old. Yes. That's... Assuming what you're saying is even true, that would be impossible. Why?
You're waging war on, like, literal gods. Not like trying to take out fell gods or like hags or anything, like actual literal
He holds up a hand.
reality gods.
Let me roll it back further, Miss Rose. Remember how when I asked you earlier about your thoughts on the gods, and you said they just are? That it doesn't feel like you could do anything against them? What if I told you each and every single peer amongst here does? The Archon that we serve comes from an age where there were no gods. Scoff at the concepts of providence and divine fate once instilled into you, indoctrinated into you by Archsage Vernier. What if I told you we work towards free will itself? And who better than a god of old times to face the gods of now, puppets they are, and the oldest god of them all? You think what we do is impossible. I assure you, it is far from it.
This is a lot to take in.
I'm sure.
That's a hell of an understatement.
I know. My apologies. I was raised with the truth. I know Lawrence of the Heartlands, he had a hard time wrapping his head around it too, when he first told him.
I can imagine.
He sips at his teacup.
Yeah, I imagine Fee at this point is just like staring down at the table, just like processing everything. Like, what?
So it's regicide if you try to kill a king. What happened? What is it called if you try to kill God? Deicide?
Theocide.
Oh,
Deicide.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
Varric's like leaned back in his chair, just thinking about all this.
I so wish I had brought something to sip on now.
I think I wish I brought an extra brain.
That too, actually. Yeah, just.
I need the extra processing power.
Why here? Why this continent? Well, this is where our Lord, our God, sleeps. He's asleep, only partially. I suppose sleep is the inoperative term. He's yet to awaken to his full power. But he is getting there.
So, is he able to communicate with you? Do you know?
Yes,
Just...
he can communicate to all of us, if he wishes. And since you're all here, he could communicate to you as well, but I'm afraid we are beneath his attention currently. Warrantless.
Glances at the roof at the mention of beneath. It's like, how beneath? Because it was at night. It's relevant. That's probably just like a planar
Even
thing.
on the Jagged Expanse, was this
Yeah.
already addressed?
We are in the Jagged Expanse, yes.
Because out there it looks very much.
Merely a demonstration of his innate power, Miss Fia.
And I'm glitching out again. What?
No!
Okay,
So this is where
there
he
you go. I think that's it. Settled. Okay.
resides.
No, this is not where he resides.
Not here. Sorry, the expanse is where he sleeps.
So we're what further
Yes.
inland?
Yes.
Yes. How far? Haha. Mr. Varric. He just doesn't say anything. He doesn't even growl this time.
Like, yeah, it's kind of a point of just like, I'm not gonna tell you the obvious fucking answer so you could kill our god, like, or try to and die. Did he have like some? Did he have any impact on the Scornkin? Or was that just like completely over his head?
Funny
like,
thing. That is actually very funny. The Scornkin.
Oh God.
I'm probably not gonna like where this goes.
Yeah.
No, the Scornkin are not any byproduct of my lord, the Archon. Not at all.
Right.
They are actually a product of this modern, he does air quotes around that, time. Modern in the sense of this post-Archon existence. A long time. Years, millennia before that. That is an interesting thing to think. Yes, what is it? 1199 CA? Time goes well before 1199. That's only when the provinces were founded. Elves go even further back. Giants and dragons before that. Fairies before that.
I can hear Ruhan saying, "No, that's a lie," in my head.
Yeah.
The Scornken, which antagonize this continent, are not a product of the Archon, of our Archon. They are a product of a ritualistic brutalization of the natives of this land, where once there were humans, they are no longer. through the ritualistic brutalization done by the Wild Hunt. This was their hunting ground. For joy and amusement, cruelty for cruelty's sake. Are you...
Context, what was the Wild Hunt again, sorry?
The Wild Hunt, you know, is a fairy thing. They hunt. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's literally all they do. They hunt.
So it's just Feywild, yeah, okay, Feywild, okay.
They're,
so been brought up before, but...
They're like the pack that we were talking about before, except the human is not a human or mortal equivalent, it's a fairy equivalent. Any fairy, no matter which court they're in, can join the Wild Hunt for a time.
Nifty.
And then they just go hunting.
So...
For what? Whatever the Hunt Master chooses.
So for clarification,
so
Scornkin are older than pretty much anything that we could think of. And they're the byproduct of the Wild Hunt just hunting and just doing their shit against people.
And humans or some ancestral human adapted.
Right.
After
so like they found fucking cavemen
millennia.
Beat the shit out of them.
Exactly. After millennia of being interacted with by fairy magic and being hunted, they became what they are now.
The hyper-adaptive race that
which
has many
Abigail gets a look of realization. Yes, Miss Abigail? She didn't say anything. I can say it for you, don't worry. That is why your family saved the town, because your father, he does air quotes around that, is the first fairy. Scorn can fear fairies. So who better to fear than the first one? R.I.P. Kirsty.
Nevertheless, it did come about. Hi.
It's all good. What's the last thing you heard?
Scornkin are scared of fairies.
Yes.
Which is why they were afraid of Abigail's quote-unquote father, the first fairy ever. Back during the Night of Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
They're just innately afraid of fairies.
It's culturally built into them, I guess you'd say. Which is why your, he rolls his fingers, patron, Miss Rose, is so keen on killing them. Because they're a byproduct of fairy intervention.
Okay, I can see the connecting lines now. Why didn't I ask him that? I was talking to him like, yes. Hindsight sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't know, I suppose. Yeah.
Wait, if we're the Wild Hunt now, I would surely have known if they like, just sort of like gestures around. We're still on the continent doing these sorts of activities. Interesting thing to note that. What is it? How long has it been now? 30, 40 years ago? When the veil was made thinner between worlds, the Wild Hunt started hunting in other places. It was easier to hunt here, but now they can hunt anywhere. And left unchecked, Scorn can have a very, very fast reproductive capability, as well as adaptive capability. Which is why when the colonies got here, there were so many, and then they rallied.
Would they have just kept going if they hadn't been stopped?
Potentially.
Oh. Man, I'm really glad that you happen to be there then. Says like gesturing it to Abigail.
She's like rubbing the side of her face, like eye like peeking through the gaps between her fingers, like, oh my god.
Yeah, there's just
there's so much to unpack for her.
There's a very deep hole.
This is okay, you said that was the first truth, right?
Yes. That is the only one I have to illuminate unto you.
But I'm assuming there's more?
He gestures at all the books behind him, as much as you want. Provided you answer the next questions properly.
Oh god.
But we'll get there when we get there. Any questions you have currently that I might help answer?
There's sort of a lot. I'm trying to just
He
grab a
nods.
hold of one currently.
Take your time. Steal your mind. Focus yourself. We have nothing but time. If you get hungry, I can arrange for food to be brought. If you're thirsty, that as well. We have nothing but time.
Why'd you have to say hungry? Garth is so actually hungry.
No, no.
Oh, no.
Because Leopold is very courteous. That's sort
He's
of
very
like his
kind
nature.
in this case. It's very odd. Well, I guess not odd. I don't know what I expect in this case.
Oh fuck, the clocks went forward tonight, didn't they? Christ. So I was wondering why it was suddenly 2 AM.
Meh.
Oh yeah, you probably round up right now, right?
Yep. Just jumped ahead. Okay.
Hey, on the bright side, you don't gotta worry about daylight saving discrepancies anymore, because now we're all equaled out.
Yeah, yeah.
Part of me wants to press
Anyway, okay.
the information we got as int checks, but like, I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know if I should press for the questions that we had, like the discrepancies we got earlier.
You should
Just
definitely
yet.
do that.
Like it's sarcastic, haha, you'll get killed, or like as a do it.
I mean,
don't
last
know.
time you guys read sarcastic, yeah, do that. You guys wound up here. So I think
Good
you guys
point.
have your own track record to look at for. Yeah, just do that.
for answer. Okay, cool.
Also, to be fair, you said
I guess-
maybe not mention that now, so maybe we should wait on that.
That
I'd be
is
fine
why
with
I
just,
was
like,
like,
listening. I'd be fine with listening now. Unless you want to bring up like the thing about Varric, which putting him on the blast right now.
I'm gonna wait until after
Yeah.
that one. That is an out of this place question.
That's up.
That's
Make
very
sure.
smart.
Yeah, that's up.
That's
Make sure
very
the card
smart.
isn't near us, so they can't listen on us. Conversation.
I
yeah,
have a
I suppose
question.
that's how they.
Oh,
I have a question. Yes. We faced an aberrant underwater. Bilgiev. No? Yes. He had the trader's brand on him. Not a brand, it is a mark, but yes, go on. Why? What do you mean, why? Why did he have it? He have it because we made him one of us.
he was talking about one that was dreaming.
Abby just blinks at that. You just made him one of you. Yes, okay. Maybe that is reductive. Bilgiev believed that he was still serving Plurnus, or some offspring of Plurnus. This was a
Right.
lie. It was a deception. Still, he was capable. Well, up until you killed him. Which, by the way, I don't harbor any ill will as a result of it. Bilgiev was a means to an end.
What
But-
end was that supposed to be?
I'm not sure if I should tell you, given current company.
Wow, actually a question that you couldn't answer.
I can, I just won't.
Right. That mark in your hand,
Yes.
they traditionally on your back. as
Normally,
well?
yes. Normally, yes. But mine was, how to say, a while ago, just before I disappeared, he does air quotes around that, disappeared. My mark had been, how to say, well, the mark had been marked. So as a result, I had to get it purged, scrubbed, as you would say, off me, and reinstated. Now, normally we're born with it upon our backs, but I wanted to make a particular show of it, so I asked for it to be reinstated on... He gestures at... He just holds up his hand. Somewhere obvious.
To show devotion.
That must.
But for that is simply my job. I am an emissary of sorts. I travel, I talk. I do not mean to ever hide my allegiance when I'm making such trips. Not to people that are... He gestures at you, all of you. Potential allies. Friends. Confidants.
Okay. So,
You had more questions?
what's your, not goals exactly, but you say potential allies with
Yes.
us. How far is that? Like in terms of the town, are you a threat? Are you a neutral
town would
party?
have-
Or...
The town would have nothing to do with us. As he
That's-
just gestures at Varric, evidenced with one of the first waivers here.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Do you mean harm, I guess?
Only if you get in our way.
Right.
Which, given that we're re-expanding, is a guarantee. He shrugs. Perhaps you can talk some sense into them. After all, his cousin is the commander, the brave commander of the Expeditionary Forces, close confidant and friend of the royal governor. If anyone is in a position to persuade, would it not be all of you? I'd rather die. Don't say such things so quickly, Mr. Varric. They might come to fruition sooner rather than later.
I'm curious why you
So-
don't
so you're
just take over. You guys seem more than well equipped.
Ah, no. This is as generous as your compliment is. I'm afraid we have nowhere near the numbers nor resources as all of the provinces can throw at the colonies. And I assure you, though we know where the scorn can come from, we are no better or less familiar with interactions with them. We do with them, same as you. Still winning. And of course, our goals are not something we could simply expand for. He gestures at Abigail. No. No. Our goals take time. Although, less time every second.
How?
You guys see Abigail and Varric look at one another. I like to imagine you two are sitting at the center, because you guys are the main characters right now, and then Varric and Abigail are to your guys' side. So they had to look past the two of you to look at each other.
Yeah.
So, like, what kind of check would it be to, like, kind of check yourself to make sure you're not being, like, magically tagged, per se?
There is no check for that. You don't know.
Wouldn't have the capability of doing such. Radical.
You would need another divination spell to determine whether or not you're being divined upon.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I have no access to any of that.
Like, I think Scrying's a 4th level spell or 5th level spell.
Yeah.
And that's like the most default one.
I think you get like a check if it happens, but I don't remember.
I don't know if that's true, if that's just something O did on a Thursday game.
Might be. I don't know.
Also, like, depending on who you think is scrying upon you, the DC goes from very near impossible to actually impossible.